Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Kimberly Fennell, and I am the founder and owner of Biz Savvy Artist. And what we do is provide training, tools, resources, and support to upcoming and emerging artists, as well as creative professionals. I came up with a presentation today to talk a little bit about creative entrepreneurship. A little bit about me. I am originally from New York, but I also spent about 15 years in the Atlanta, Georgia area. So I call myself an apple peach blend. I am a mompreneur. I run an administrative services company, and I'm also the single mother of two amazing children, a 7-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son. I am a graduate of Clark Atlanta University, and I've been a lover of the arts my entire life. I love music, film, dancing, visual arts. Anything artistic is right up my alley. I have experience working with various organizations, including NABFEM, which is the National Association of Black Female Executives in Music and Entertainment. I've worked with the Atlanta Hip Hop Film Festival and International Soul Music Summit. I've also volunteered with the first BET Hip Hop Awards that they did, I want to say in 2006 in Atlanta, and then the Soul Train Awards. And so I wanted to kind of touch on entrepreneurship as it relates to arts and entertainment. A lot of artists kind of approach what they're doing more like a hobby than a business. And with Biz Savvy Artists, we focus on helping them develop the business side of what they're doing. A lot of times, artists are great at their craft, whatever it is that they do professionally. Doing the craft and running the business are two completely different things, and sometimes there can be a bit of a struggle with the business. So there's a quote by Jay-Z where he says, I'm a businessman. And so that's the first point that I wanted to make, is that as a creative, either man or woman, you are a business. And so in the arts particularly, and in the creative industries, freelancing is the primary type of employment that exists. Most are not 9-to-5 employees that are getting a W-2 and getting benefits and things of that nature. Most of the people that work in arts and entertainment are freelancers. So the number of freelancers in the United States is 57 million people. And there are about 1.3 million people who are freelancers in New York. And as it says on the slide, in the creative, it fields employ the highest number of freelancers. So about 75% of the workforce in the creative fields are freelancers. And I say that to reiterate the fact that there are a lot of things that become your responsibility as a freelancer in addition to just creating. So you have to be responsible for marketing yourself. You have to be responsible for your bookkeeping and invoicing, for customer relationship management. So there are so many different responsibilities that come along with being a businessman or woman and being a freelancer in the creative field. In addition, I wanted to share the economic impact. I did some research last night, and the film industry economic impact just in New York State alone is $7.6 billion. The music industry impact is, what is it, $13.7 billion. So that's a lot of money, a lot of opportunities for generating income and revenue, a lot of opportunities for providing products and services in those industries. And that's not something that you want to take lightly. So it's very important to make sure that your business has the infrastructure to be able to support taking on these projects that could be very lucrative as a creative. Second point is that, reiterating what I said before, with it being so much money in the industry, you need to have a game plan. Um, Beyond just doing what you do, you have to have some type of strategy for how you're going to find clients, what your payment processes and services are going to be. You're going to have to know, I'm sorry, my two children just came in. You're going to have to know how you're going to fund what you're doing, where you're going to get the equipment. If you need to build a team, what does that look like? So there are a lot of variations of things that you need to know and need to have in place as a business owner. Another point that I want to make is, if you are searching for funding for what you're doing, whether you're getting a grant, whether you are going to a traditional bank to get funding, whether you are looking for sponsors, 9 times out of 10, they are going to request some form of a business plan from you. They're going to want to know what your project is, what types of services you offer. They're going to want to know who your target market is, and if it aligns with their target market. They're going to want to know how you're funding it, how you anticipate generating revenue, how much money you think you're going to make. 9 times out of 10, with the exception of the grants, they are looking for something in return, and they want to know that you have a plan to do that. So for banks, they're usually looking for you to be able to repay the money that they give you with interest. If you're getting investors, they're going to be looking at a return on their investment. For sponsorship, they want to make sure they're getting a return on their investment, not necessarily monetarily, but whatever the benefits are that you are offering to them as sponsors. The same thing would apply if you're doing crowdfunding. Typically, you have to write out a description of what you're doing, who you're targeting, something that gives the people who are considering contributing to your project information to let them know that you've done your homework and you can make this project successful, and that they're going to be able to get the benefits based on the level of contribution. So having a game plan is extremely important. And having a business plan doesn't necessarily mean having a 30-page typewritten 12-point font document, but being able to outline some of the things that we just touched on in terms of your target market, your structure, your funding, how you're generating revenue, and those types of things. And your business plan is not a static document. It's something that you want to reference in your operations of your business and update it periodically as needed. So there's a quote by City that I reference quite a bit, where he asks, what's your game plan? If you leave with anything, leave with the understanding that you have to come up with a plan. You have to come up with a successful game plan, and the accountability is on you. It's not on anyone else to put that into work and to keep pursuing your dream endlessly. And I believe this is a quote from one of his Revolt conferences. There's a second quote from a gentleman, Kevin Olusholo, who is a member of the a cappella group Pentatonics and is also a musician on his own. And he says, today's industry requires you to be more than just an excellent musician. You have to be an entrepreneur, a business person, a social media personality. You have so many hats to wear that sometimes it's hard just keeping up with your craft. That's why time management is such an important and essential piece of being a successful musician. Last point that I wanted to make is that it's really important to surround yourself with the right people. I've been self-employed since 2003, and this is not a journey for the faint of heart. So it is so important to have like-minded people around you, people who can encourage you when times are getting tough, people who you can seek out wise advice from when you hit roadblocks and challenges, people who can connect you to other people that can help you to grow your business, and achieve success in whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So building your network and having the right relationships, and strategic relationships is extremely important, especially as an entrepreneur and especially in the arts and entertainment field. Um, a lot of times being an entrepreneur, you can be misunderstood, and the same thing applies when you're an artist, and so even more so when you are a creative entrepreneur. So having somebody that you can relate to and talk things out with is priceless. So make sure you surround yourself with people who get it. Surround yourself with people who are going on the journey with you. Look for trade organizations, um, and maybe clubs or groups or entrepreneurship networks that can connect you with other people who are dealing with the same things that you are. And so I wanted to introduce the event that we have coming up, which is Biz Savvy Artist Academy. This is our 7th year, and I developed the event back in 2014 to provide independent and emerging artists and creative professionals with their tools, resources, training, and support to start and grow profitable businesses. So what we typically do during Biz Savvy Artists is it's a day-long event where we have entertainment, business, and entrepreneurship workshops on various topics, from dealing with intellectual property, negotiating contracts and agreements, traditional and digital marketing, how to leverage social media. We've talked about building your team and how to manage your team once they're on board, whether it's you hiring employees or having freelancers. We also have done workshops on managing finances, securing funding. I hear some background noise. Um, Anything else? So a lot of different topics relative to entrepreneurship, being an entrepreneur, and the arts and entertainment industry in particular. Um, we also have a lot of networking takes place during the event. We last year launched our expo, where we invite companies that have tools and resources that artists and creative professionals and entrepreneurs would find beneficial in running and operating and even starting up their businesses, and keynote presentations. So we love inviting entrepreneurs who have been successful at doing what they do, and artists who have been successful in their careers as well, to talk to our audience about their experiences in the industry and giving their wisdom. So this year's event is coming up on August 15th. That is a Saturday. We typically start around noon and run until about 6 or 7 p.m. This year's event will be virtual, similar to this event that we're on right now. And we expect it to be amazing. We're still working to secure some of the panelists and presenters, but we've already gotten a lot of interest. And the link at the bottom of the screen, if you're interested in visiting that to learn more or interested in registering, you could go to bsaa2020.eventbrite.com. There's a written out description of the event. And if you use the promo code Juneteenth NY20, you will save 25% on your registration. And we went ahead and opened it up early just for you guys, so that you would be able to take advantage of it. We weren't planning to do the registration until next week, but we went ahead and opened it up early so that I could share it with you guys. So I'm very excited. I thank you guys for your time. And my contact information is on the screen if you have any questions.